880,000 with an aggregate duration of 150 calendar days. And next is contract ID 26NC0013, construction of multi-purpose building, Ferdinand, Loreto, Agusan del Sur with an EBC of 11,880,000 and a contract duration of 150 calendar days. Next is contract ID 26NC0014, construction of multi-purpose building, Sitio, Suerte, Barangay, Fortuna, Veruela, Agusan del Sur with an EBC of 11,880,000 and contract duration of 150 calendar days. Next is contract ID 26NC0015, construction of complementary improvement of access roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones of Purok, Marasigan-Purok 7, Panganan Road connecting rubber, cacao, and coffee plantation sites, and National Road Junction in support of rubber, cacao, and coffee industries. Station 1 plus 541.5 to Station 1 plus 628.5. Rosario, Agusan del Sur with an EBC of 4,802,000 and a duration of 49 calendar days. And the last project is 26NC0016, construction and project to access roads leading to trades and industries in the zones of Buhisan-Manlawigan-Calasian-Padigusan road connecting oil palm, rice, and corn farms, and National Road Junction in support of oil palm, rice, and corn farms industries. Station 0 plus 7, 570 to Station 0 plus 60, Rosario, Agusan del Sur with an EBC of 4,802,000 and a contract duration of 92 calendar days. So we'll start the presentation for contract ID 26NC0012.
Good morning. So for the first project this morning, 26NC0012 for construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Rizal, San Francisco, Agusan del Sur. Project description: construction of covered court elevated to 25 meters with stage, bleachers, CR and office. Includes fascia, flushing, gutter and downspout, plumbing and electrical works, painting, ceiling, railings, tile works, and storage facility. With appropriation amount of 12 million, ABC amount of 11,880,000, with a total work duration of 150 calendar days. Source of funds under the 2026. So the location of our project, nasa diri. So naatay diversion road, pagawin siya sa San Francisco and Padilmonte. So sa Barangay Rizal, naatay ang proposed multi-purpose building. Itong orientation po is naka-face siya towards the road. So for the geotag photo, flat lang ang ang existing site. Reference for our multi-purpose building is katong previous kapod nato na multi-purpose. So for the original plan, naatay building footprint of 20 meters by 36 meters with a total building footprint area na 780 square meters. So naatay bleachers and then naasat a stage with genderized comfort rooms and then PWDCR as well as office. For our elevations, mga siya itong front and rear elevation as well as left side elevation and right side elevation. Same goes with details para sa tuwang doors and windows as well as details para sa tuwang stage stair. And naggamit sa tao 4.5 mm thick na fiber cement board with metal frame ceiling. And then nasa tayo details para sa tuwang ramps and stair steps. For our foundation details, natay F1C1. For our footing number 1, it is 3.4 by 3.4 by 0.3 feet na reinforced concrete, isolated footing, with 18 ka 16 mm diameter Fortuna reinforcement roadways. And then para sa toong C1, dimension niya is 0.45 by 0.45 and reinforced with 26 ka 16 mm vertical bars, reinforced with tulo ka lateral ties at 10 mm, spaced at 1 at 50, 5 at 100, and 5 at 150, and rest at 200. And then for our footing number 2, 3.2 by 3.2 by 0.3, reinforced concrete isolated footing, reinforced with 17 to 16 mm bottom reinforcement both ways. And for our C2, yung dimension is 0.45 by 0.45, and it was reinforced with 20 to 16 mm diameter vertical bars. For our footing number 3, 3 meters by 3 meters by 0.3 meters thick na isolated footing, and reinforced with 16 ka 16 mm diameter bottom reinforcement with both ways. And para sa tong C3, yung dimension is 0.45 by 0.45, and it was reinforced with 16 ka 16 mm diameter vertical bars. For our C4 and 4, mani siya sa stage na reinforcement schedules. Para sa iyang footing, 1.5 by 1.5 by 0.3, and it is reinforced with 8 to 16 mm bottom reinforcement both ways. And para sa columns, 0.25 by 0.25, yung dimension, and then reinforced with 4 ka 16 mm diameter bars and 4 ka 12 mm vertical bars. For our footing tie beam, sa ito ang footing tie beam, yung dimension is 0.25 by 0.35, and reinforced with 3 ka 16 mm top bars and 3 for bottom bars. For our footing tie beam number 2, yung dimension is 0.25 by 0.3, and reinforced with 2 ka 16 mm diameter sa top bars and 2 for bottom bars. For our roof beam number 1, 0.3 by 0.6, and then reinforced with 6 ka 16 mm diameter sa top bars, and then 4 for bottom bars. For roof beam number 2, 0.25 by 0.5, and then reinforced with, for the top bars, 4 ka 16 diameters, 16 mm diameters, and then for the bottom bars, 3 ka 16 mm diameters, and then multiply 2 ka 16 mm diameters for the side face bars. For the roof beam number 3, 0.25 by 0.45, and reinforced with 4 ka 16 mm diameter for the top bars, and 2 for the bottom bars with 2 ka 16 mm diameter for the side face bars. And for the roof beam number 4, 0.225 by 0.35, and reinforced with 3 ka 16 mm diameter for the top bars and 2 for the bottom bars. So for the roof framing plan, nagamit ako 10 mm na subgrad, spaced at middle thirds. And then sa purlins, nagamit ako 150 by 50 by 20 by 2.5 mm thickness purlins with 75 by 75 by 4 mm na purlin sleeves. And then for the cross bracing, nagamit ako 12 mm diameter cross bracing with 12 mm turn backup. We also have the details for our truss connector details, and then details para sa tuwang bleachers, for the wood footings, and then for the base leads. For our inner truss, or FT-1A, for the top and bottom cord, nagamit ako double angle bar, 65 mm by 65 mm by 6 mm thick angle bars for top and bottom cord. And then for the web members, double na 50 mm by 50 mm by 6 mm na angle bar. For our roofing, nagamit ako 0.4 to 7 mm thick long span corrugated sheet roofing. For our outer trusses, or FT-1, same lang gihapon siya for the bottom and top cord, double na 65 by 65 by 6 mm thick na angle bar. And for the web members, double na 50 mm by 50 mm by 6 mm thick angle bars. Mausad din ang details para sa itong ang proper details para din siya sa stage. reinforced with single lang siya na 50 mm by 50 mm by 6 mm na handlebars. And then sa iyang purlins is 100 by 50 na C purlins. Nasa tayo details connection para sa tuwang purlins to subrad. J-bolt spacing, details para sa tuwang roofing fixture, details for our purlin splice, and then details also para sa tuwang cross bracing connections, and details para sa tuwang gusset plate connections. Diri sa Barangay Rizal, naatay additional na storage facility. 2-bay ni siya. So, yung dimension for land is 8.4 by 3.3 na storage facility. So, para sa iyang floor plan, natin isa ka door and then 4 ka windows. And then, naat sa titles for our storage room. This is the water line layout, planning layout plan. For our ato ang MPD na atay 10 ka floodlights, 200 watts na floodlights. Ano siya yung lighting layout plan and power layout plan. For the item of works, for other general requirements, permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard and signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health, 1 lump sum. Mobilization and demobilization, 1 lump sum. For the earthworks, structure excavation for the common soil, 390.6 cubic meters. For embankment from structure excavation, 264.50 cubic meters. For embankment from borrow, 316.50 cubic meters. And for the gravel fill, 105.80 cubic meters. For the reinforced concrete works, structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, class A 28 days, a total of 209.15 cubic meters. For the reinforcing steel, deformed grade 40, 6,877.03 kilograms. And for the grade 60, 12,024.36 kilograms. For the formworks and falseworks, a total of 691.47 square meters. For Part E, finishing and other civil works, under plumbing or sanitary works, for the sewer line works, 1 lump sum. Same goes for storm drainage and downspout, septic tank, plumbing fixtures, and cold water lines. For fabricated materials, 1 lump sum also for carpentry and joinery works, as well as for finishing hardware. And then for residential casement steel, 3.36 square meters, and 1 lump sum for steel window. For aluminum glass windows, sliding type, 7.68 square meters. For the frames, a total of 5 sets. For the wooden panel doors, 9.03 square meters, and 1 lump sum for railings. For finishing works, 4.5 mm fiber cement board on metal frame ceiling, 141.50 square meters. For the fascia board, 19 mm fiber cement board, 173.50 meters. For the glazed tiles and trims, 36.43 square meters. And for the unglazed tiles, 99.96 square meters. For the cement plaster finish, 598.50 square meters. For painting works for masonry or concrete, 735.50 square meters. And painting works for steel, 262.41 square meters. For masonry works, 100 mm CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel, a total of 532 square meters. For the roof framing and roofing works, fabricated metal roofing accessory for flashing gauge 26, 90.28 linear meters, and for gutters gauge 24, 90.28 linear meters. For pre-painted metal sheets, corrugated type long span, 1,009.03 square meters, and for rib type long span, 72.20 square meters. For metal structure accessories, for turnbuckle, 54 each. For bolts and rods, 78.96 kilograms. For the sub rods, 149.69 kilograms. For the cross bracing, 314.67 kilograms. And for the steel plates, 2,087.47 kilograms. For structural steel classes, 13,012.32 kilograms, and for the purlins, 7,342.98 kilograms. For electrical works, conduits, box, and fittings, 1 lump sum. For electric wire stranded, size 2 square millimeter, 1,050 meters. For size 3.5, 600 meters. For size 5.5, 30 meters. For size 8, 30 meters. And for size 14, 30 meters. 1 lump sum for wires and wiring devices. Same goes with panel boards with mains and branch breakers, as well as for lighting fixtures and lamps. And then for mechanical, naatay isa ka set na water tank na stainless. For the minimum equipment requirement, for the dump truck, 2 units, backhoe 1 unit, tape compactor, bar cutter, and bar bender 1 unit, 1 unit also for 1 bagger mixer, and 2 units for welding machine, 1 unit for concrete vibrator and cutting outfit, and 1 unit for truck mounted crane. Do we have any clarifications for Rizal PBB?
Thank you. So, any questions or clarifications for this project with a contract ID of 26 inches 0012? So, hearing none, we'll proceed for contract ID 26 inches 0013.
For the next project, 26 NC 0013, for construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Ferdinand, Loreto, Agusan del Sur. Project description: construction of covered court, elevated to 0.5 meters with stage, bleachers, CR, and office. Includes fascia, flashing, gutter, and downspout, plumbing and electrical works, painting, ceiling, railings, tile works, storage facility. With appropriation amount of 12 million, ADC amount of 11,880,000, and total work duration of 150 calendar days. For the location map, ang site is located here. So nakatay highway nga padulong sa Loreto and then pa dulong sa Laak. Ang atawang agianan is padulong siya sa Sabud Kapda. So mali siya ang zoom. Ang atawang building is proposed siya ito pang data. So natay barangay hall na ako'y existing na access road pasulod sa barangay hall niya. Paano man siya pa-slope. So natay portion na ikat diri nga portion. So mali siya ang iyang profile. So sa geotag photo mo na siya. And sa kataong portion na need ikat mo siya ang kataong ikat. So same na po ni siya na UPVs sa itong previous na mga UPVs. Same dimension po para sa itong plans. Same details gihapon with Rizal UPV. So naka-uniform na niya ito ang mga specifications sa columns as well as sa footings. Difference lang ani is sa storage facility. Nana siya ay tulo ka base na storage facility. So iyang length is 12.44 by 3.3 meters. So naka-tiles na po ang sulod sa ito ang storage room. So for the scope of works, for other general requirements, 1 lump sum for permits and clearances, 2 each for billboards and signboards, 1 lump sum for occupational safety and health and mobilization and remobilization. For the earthwork, surplus common excavation, a total of 2,045.71 cubic meters. For the surplus unclassified excavation, 277.13 cubic meters. For the structure excavation for common soil, 395.60 cubic meters. Embankment from structure excavation, 580.50 cubic meters, and for the gravel fill, 112.30 cubic meters. For the reinforced concrete, structural concrete 3,000 PSI Class A 28 base, 217.45 cubic meters. For the reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, 7,152.93 kilograms. For grade 60s, 12,339.96 kilograms. For formworks and falseworks, 724.03 square meters. For Part E, finishing and other civil works, for plumbing or sanitary works, 1 lump sum for sewer line works, 1 lump sum also for storm drainage and downspout, as well as for septic vault, plumbing fixtures, and cold water lines. For fabricated materials, 1 lump sum for carpentry and joinery works, as well as for finishing hardware. For residential casement steel, 3.36 square meters, 1 lump sum for steel window. For aluminum glass windows, sliding type, 7.68 square meters. For frames, a total of 5 sets. For wooden panel doors, 9.03 square meters, and 1 lump sum for railings. For finishing work, for 4.5 mm fiber cement board on metal frame ceiling, 163.50 square meters. For fascia board, 19 mm fiber cement board, 182 meters. For lace tiles and trims, 36.43 square meters. For the unlaced tiles, 138.57 square meters. And for the cement plaster finish, 665.50 square meters. For painting works for masonry and concrete, 824.50 square meters. And painting works for steel, 189.69 square meters. For masonry works, 100 mm CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel, total of 571.50 square meters. For roof framing and roofing works, for fabricated metal roofing accessory, flashings gauge 26, 100.04 linear meters, and for gutters gauge 24, 90.28 linear meters. For pre-painted metal sheets, corrugated long span, 1,031.77 square meters, and for rib type long span, 72.20 square meters. For metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, 54 each. For bolts and rods, 84.60 kilograms. For the stud rods, 149.69 kilograms. For the cross bracing, 314.67 kilograms. And for the steel plates, 2,112.91 kilograms. For structural steel trusses, 11,160.33 kilograms. And for the purlins, 7,469.59 kilograms. For electrical works, 1 lump sum for conduits, box, and fittings. For electric wire stranded, size 2 square millimeter, a total of 1,050 meters. For size 3.5, 600 meters. For size 5.5, 15 meters. For size 8, 30 meters. And for size 14, 30 meters. 1 lump sum for wires and wiring devices. 1 lump sum also for panel boards with main and branch breakers, as well as for the lighting fixtures and lamps. And then nasa tape sa cassette na water tank stainless. So for the minimum equipment requirement, dump truck 2 units, backhoe 1 unit, tape compactor, bar cutter, and bar bender 1 unit. 1 unit also for 1 butter mixer. 2 units for welding machine, 1 unit for concrete vibrator and cutting outfit, 1 unit for truck mounted crane, and 1 unit for bulldozer, and 1 unit for payloader. Do we have any classifications for Ferdinand MPB before we proceed with the next project?
Thank you. Any questions, clarifications for this project with contract ID 26-0013? So hearing none, we'll proceed for the next project with the contract ID of 26-0014 in PP Sitio, Suerte, Barangay Fortuna, Veruela.
For the next project, 26 NC 0014 for construction of multipurpose building, Sitio, Suerte, Barangay, Fortuna, Veruela, Agusan del Sur. Project description of construction of covered court, elevated to 0.5 meters with stage, pictures, CR and office, includes fascia, flashing, gutter and downspout, plumbing works and electrical works, painting, ceiling, railings, tile works and storage facility. Appropriation amount of 12 million, ABC amount of 11,880,000 with a total work duration of 150 calendar days. Source of fund, GAA 2026. So for our site, site na to is located here sa Naatay Highway, Padulong Loreto, and then Padulong Santa Josefa. So man siya pasulod ni siya, rough road pa ni. And then ang proposed na to is din na to ibutang na to ang EPB. So ang existing Google geotag photo, ang site is ano pa siya, kanang buntod as per coordination with RP na nawag siya sa Kagawad Ganiha, wala pa daw nasugdan yung Sitio o grade ang kini nga site. So nagapalo up pa sila kung kano sa sugdan. Daw naka-resolute, i-include naman sa ilang resolution na si munisipyo ang mo grade na rin ang portion. For our plan, same lang siya with Rizal and Ferdinand, as well as sa mga specifications for footings, columns, for beams, and pati po sa mga trusses, same lang siya sa Rizal and Ferdinand. For storage facility, tulo siya ka bay na storage facility. So, yung total is 12.44 meters by 3.3 meters na storage room. Naka-tiles po siya sa sulod. And then mo siya ang details para sa iyang mga roof framing, sa mga schedules for the footing. For the scope of works, for other general requirements, for permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. For project billboard, signboard, 2 each. For occupational safety and health, 1 lump sum. Demobilization and mobilization, 1 lump sum. For earthwork, structure excavation for common soil, 395.60 cubic meters. For the embankment from structure excavation, 265.50 cubic meters. For the embankment from Barrow, 314 cubic meters. And for the gravel fill, 111.30 cubic meters. For the reinforced concrete works, for structural concrete, 3,000 PSI class A 28 days, 216.45 cubic meters. For reinforcing steel, before grade 40, 7,126.40 kilograms. And for grade 60, 12,339.96 kilograms. For the formworks and false works, 723.15 square meters. For Part A, finishing and other civil works. For plumbing and sanitary works, 1 lump sum for sewer line works, 1 lump sum for storm drainage and downspout, as well as for the septic vault, plumbing fixtures, and cold water lines. For fabricated materials, 1 lump sum for carpentry and joinery works, and 1 lump sum for finishing hardware. For residential casement steel, 3.36 square meters, 1 lump sum for steel window, and for aluminum glass windows sliding type, a total of 7.68 square meters. 5 sets para sa frames, and then for wooden panel doors, 9.03 square meters, and 1 lump sum for railings. For finishing works, 4.5 mm fiber cement board on metal frame ceiling, 163.50 square meters. For fascia board, 19 mm fiber cement board, 182 meters. For glazed tiles and trims, 36.33 square meters. For the unglazed tiles, 99.96 square meters. And for cement cluster finish, 663.50 square meters. For painting works for masonry and concrete, a total of 822.50 square meters. And painting works for steel, 264.80 square meters. For masonry works, For 100 mm CHD non-load bearing, including reinforced steel, 569.50 square meters. For roof framing and roofing works, for fabricated metal roofing accessory, flashing gauge 26, a total of 100.04 linear meters. For gutters, gauge 24, 90.28 linear meters. For corrugated type long span, prepared metal sheets, 1,031.77 square meters. And for rib type long span, 72.20 square meters. For metal structure accessories, for the turnbuckle, 54 each. For the bolts and rods, 84.60 kilograms. For the sub-rods, 149.69 kilograms. For the cross bracing, 314.67 kilograms. And for the steel plates, 2,112.91 kilograms. For structural steel trusses, a total of 13,122.15 kilograms. And for the purlins, 7,469.59 kilograms. For the electrical works, 1 lump sum for conduits, box, and fittings. For electric wire stranded, size 2 square millimeter, 1,050 meters. For size 3.5, 600 meters. For size 5.5, 15 meters. For size 8, 30 meters. And lastly, for size 14, 30 meters. 1 lump sum for wires and wiring devices, as well as for the panel board with main and branch breakers, and 1 lump sum also for lighting fixtures and lamps. And then for our mechanical works, 1 set para sa water pump na stainless. For the minimum equipment requirement, dump truck 2 units, backhoe 1 unit, 1 unit also for pit compactor, bar cutter, bar bender, as well as 1 bagger mixer. And then 2 units for welding machines, 1 unit for concrete vibrator and for cutting outfit, and then 1 unit for truck mounted crane. That would be all po para sa La Fortuna NPB.
Thank you. Any questions, clarifications for this project? So, hearing none, we'll proceed for the next project with contract ID 26-15.
Good morning once again. So for the fourth project for the 3-week conference, we have construction improvement of access roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones of Marasigan-Purok Panganan Road, connecting rubber, cacao, and coffee plantation sites and National Road Junction in support of the rubber, cacao, and coffee industries, Station 1+541.5 to Station 1+638.5, Rosario, Agusan del Sur. Project limit, Station 1+541.5 to Station 1+638.5. Type of work, construction of concrete road. Net length is 0.097 km or 0.194 lane km. Location, Rosario, Agusan del Sur. Appropriation, 4,900,000 and ABC of 4,802,000. Calendar days to finish, 49. Classification, construction of concrete road. Source of fund, regular infra, FY 2026. Showing you the location map of the project. The beginning of project and the end of project. Also, the red one indicates the total stretch of the project, and the blue one represents the side to the Maharlika Highway with the 1.58 kilometers distance. Jota photos before stage. For the typical unscheduled, typical high cut section shown on this slide is the typical high-cut section of the proposed road improvement with a 3.35 meter wide PCCP pavement, 6.7 meters in total, with a 0.15 thick rectangular concrete line ditch, and also is the shown is the stone masonry with a thickness of 0.5 meters. The limits of the subway preparation are indicated below the pavement structure as well. Showing you the stone masonry retaining wall of 0.5 meters deep. The typical normal cut and fill section, as well as the covered reinforced concrete drainage ditch. Total outside width is 800 mm, cleared inside width is 500 mm, side walls 150 mm thick, internal clear height 500 mm, cover thickness 125 mm, bottom slab thickness 150 mm, lead concrete bedding is 50 mm thick, compacted foundation fill is 100 mm thick, and is concrete class B. Showing you the topographic plan of the project, the profile, and the cross sections. For the bill of quantities, facilities for the engineer A.1.18, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis 2 months. A.1.11, provision of furniture, fixtures, equipment, and appliances for the field office for the engineer, 1 lump sum. Other general requirements, B.41, construction survey and staking, 0.097 km. B.5, project billboard, signboard for each. B.7, 2, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B.8, 2, traffic management, 1 lump sum. B.9, mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum. For the earthwork, 101, clearing and grubbing, 0.16 hectare. 103A1, individual removal of trees, 150 to 300 mm diameter small, 10 each. 102, 2, surplus common excavation, 1245.75 cubic meter. 104, 1A, embankment from roadway structures excavation common soil, 95.29 cubic meter. 105, 1A, subway preparation common material, 909.41 square meter. Part D, sub-base and base course, 201, aggregate sub-base course, 202.13 cubic meter. Part E, surface course, 311, 1E1, Portland cement concrete pavement and reinforced, 0.28 meters thick, 690.54 square meter. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures, 503A, line canal rectangular reinforced concrete, 178 linear meter. 506, 1, stone masonry, 175 cubic meter. For the miscellaneous structures, 603, 3A1 metal guardrail, 28 mm, 603, 4A metal beam and piece fish tail for each, 6121 reflector thermoplastic pavement markings white, 24.8 square meter, 6122 refractorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow, 5.49 square meter. For the minimum equipment requirement, dump truck, 2, payloader, backhoe, road grader, motorized, vibratory roller, single smooth drum, water truck, pump, 1, transit mixer, 2, bulldozer, cargo truck, delivery truck, 1, concrete vibrator, 2, concrete spreader, concrete saw, bar cutter, total station, concrete mixer, plate compactors in the direction, set applicator machine, milling machine, chainsaw, joint sealer, bar bender, 3-phase 1. For the quarry sources, granular fill will be taken at Patrocinio Agusan River sa Agusan del Sur with a hauling distance of 54 kilometers. Item 200 and boulders will be taken at Mao Prosperidad Agusan del Sur with a hauling distance of 41 kilometers. Sand, screen, and wash will be taken at Patrocinio Agusan River, 54 kilometers. Gravel, crushed, will be taken at San Ignacio Simula River with a hauling distance of 58 kilometers. Cement hauling from EDS2 to site is 18 kilometers and reinforcing steel bar with a hauling distance of 166 kilometers. That ends the presentation.
Thank you. Any questions, clarifications for this project? Contract ID 26NC0015. Having none, we'll proceed for the next project. Next project with contract ID 26NC0016.
Good morning, everyone. This is for the project named Construction or Improvement of Access Roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones of Buhisan-Manlawigan-Calasian-Padigusan Road, connecting oil palm, rice, and corn farms and National Road Junction in support of the oil palm, rice, and corn farm industries, Station 0+570 to Station 0+670, Rosario, Agusan del Sur, with a project limit Station 0+570 to Station 0+670 in a length of 100 meters or 0.209 kilometers located in Rosario, Agusan del Sur, with an appropriation of 4.9 million, an ABC of 4,802,000 pesos, project duration of 92 calendar days, and Cacao FY 2026 as source of funds. This is the location map, where the junction is near K3025+035 along Marasigan Highway. Geotag photos before stage. For the typical and schedule, we will provide a 6.7 meter wide carriageway, 280 millimeter thick, a shoulder of 1 meter from Station 0+570 to Station 0+640, and a 150 millimeter thickness, and an aggregate subbase course of 200 millimeter thick. And for the Station 0+640 to 0+670, we will increase the width of the shoulder to 2 meters. And we will also provide a stone masonry slope protection 300 millimeter thick. For the plan and profile and the cross sections. Now for the bill of quantities, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, 3 months, provision of furnitures or fixtures, equipment and appliances, 1 lump sum. This includes UPS for workstation, 1 unit, for DE's office ergonomic desk chairs, 6 pieces, 3 for DE's office and 3 for IT office, and external hard drive, 1 terabyte, 1 unit for records unit. For construction survey and staking, 100 kilometers, project billboard or signboard for each, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum, traffic management, 1 lump sum, mobile demobilization, 1 lump sum. For earthworks, clearing and grubbing, 0.12 hectares, individual removal of trees, 17 each, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, 93.84 cubic meters, embankment from barrow, 160.41 cubic meters, and for subgrade preparation, 1,182.28 square meters. For aggregate subbase cores, 263.79 cubic meters. For surface courses, PCCP 0.15 meter thick, 242 square meters. And for PCCP 0.18 meter thick, 743.27 square meters. And for slope protection structures, stone masonry, 43.55 cubic meters. And lastly, for the miscellaneous structures, metal guardrails including posts, 56 linear meters, metal beam and piece fishtail 4 each, and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white and yellow, 26.65 square meters and 3.82 square meters respectively. For minimum equipment requirement, dump truck 2, payloader, backhoe, motorized road grader, vibratory roller, water truck, 1 unit, transit mixer, 2 units, bulldozer, cargo truck or delivery truck, 1 unit, concrete vibrator, 2 units, concrete skidder, concrete saw, bar cutter, total station, concrete mixer, plate compactor, set applicator machine, kneading machine, chainsaw, joint sealer, and bar bender, all 1 unit. For the core resources, embankment will be taken at Balobo Quarry Hill, Poblacion Balobo, Surigao del Sur with a holding distance of 37 kilometers. Item 200 and boulders will be taken at 37 at Mao, Barangay Mao, Ferdinand, Agusan del Sur with a holding distance of 37 kilometers. Sand screened and washed will be taken at Agusan River, Patrocinio, Santa Jose, Agusan del Sur with a holding distance of 53 kilometers. Gravel crushed, San Ignacio, Rento, Agusan del Sur with a holding distance of 58 kilometers. RSB will be taken at Davao City with a holding distance of 165 kilometers. And cement from DEO to site 16 kilometers. That will be all.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this project? Hearing none, let's proceed with the presentation for the requirements of bidding documents as well as the technical and financial components of the disability.
Good morning once again. In addition to the Department of Public Works and Highways, Agusan del Sur Second District Engineering Office, Barangay Cacao, San Francisco, Agusan del Sur, through the GAA FY 2026, intends to apply the sum of Barangay Rizal, San Francisco, Agusan del Sur, with an AGC of concrete road including line canal and stone protection. Contract duration 49 calendar days. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected upon bid opening. The DPWH Agusan del Sur Second DEO now invites bids for the aforementioned project. Bidders should have completed a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 of IDB. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the new Government Procurement Act. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, cooperatives, and partnerships or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Agusan del Sur Second DEO and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the address below or may be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System and the website of the procuring entity starting on May 13, 2026, and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount above stated. The procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present its proof of payment for the fees in person, by facsimile or through electronic means. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilGEPS and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. The DPWH Agusan del Sur Second DEO will hold a pre-bid conference today, May 20, 2026, 10 a.m. at the Bax Conference Room, DPWH Agusan del Sur Second DEO, Barangay Cacao, San Francisco, Agusan del Sur, and or through video conferencing via Zoom and live streamed on YouTube channel, which shall be open to prospective bidders. Bids must be duly received by for recently expired mayor's permit. This permit, together with the official receipt as proof that the prospective bidder has applied for the renewal within the period prescribed by the LGU, shall be accepted by the PhilJobs for the purpose of updating the PhilJobs certificate of platinum registration and memberships. Contractors or applicants who wish to participate in this bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works application at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process and subject to further rules qualification. Information on registration can be obtained from the PRS during working weekdays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or at the DPWH website. The DPWH Agusan del Sur 2nd DEO reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with the Section 70 of RA number 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidders. For further information, please refer to Telma S. Espeso, Head of the Procurement Unit. You may also visit the websites for the downloading of bidding documents. The DPWH and PhilJobs are for online electronic submission at the presented website. So for the bid data sheet, the procuring entity is Department of Public Works and Highways at Agusan del Sur 2nd District Engineering Office. Contracts similar to the project shall be those described as follows. For projects 26 NC 0012, 13, and 14, the major category for works code is BICWO PLC with description buildings, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. Then for the project 26 NC 0015 and 16, major category of works code, RCP, work description, roads, construction, PCCP. These are based on the DO number 164 series of 2025. For the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel for the following projects for 26 NC 0012, 13, 14, 15, and 16, the general experience and relevant experience required for the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, construction safety and health officer are 2 years. Bids will be valid for 120 days from bid opening. The bid security shall be in form of bid security declaration from any of the following. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC if the bid security is in manager's check, or the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if surety bond. The bid security shall be valid at the 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. In case of extension of bid validity and bid security validity period, substitution of bid security form is allowed. Bid security declaration and the following forms may be used. Cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, or surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. The address for the submission of bids is Procurement Conference Room, DPWH Agusan del Sur 2nd DEO. And the deadline for submission of bids is June 2, 2026 at or before 1 p.m. The date and time of bid opening is June 2, 2026, 1 p.m. The required pickup license for this contract is as follows. For the contract ID number 26 NC 0012, 13, and 14, size range is small b, license category C and D. Largest single project, 5,940,000 pesos, 50% of ABC. Allowable range of contract cost up to 30 million pesos. For 26 NC 0015 and 16, rate size range is small b, license category C and D, largest single project 2,401,000 pesos, is 50% of ABC, and the allowable range of contract cost is up to 30 million. These additional contract documents relevant to the project that may be required by existing laws under the procuring entity such as construction schedule and S-curve, manpower schedule, construction methods, equipment utilization schedule, construction safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment, and PERT CPM or other acceptable tools or project scheduling. The performance security shall be in the form of amount of not less than 30% of ABC if performance security is surety bound. So this is the checklist for the technical and financial documents. The bid form, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and performance securing declaration, and the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. So for further information, you may refer to Engineer Edwin T. Nacorda, our back chairperson. That would be all, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on the presentation? Hearing none, in behalf of our back chairperson, Engineer Edwin T. Nacorda, I thank all the back members, back secretariat, back DPWH, presenters, visitors, for coming here. I now declare the spring bid conference